Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we have a 12th of December, Monday of a new week. And firstly I want to remind you that there's something special about this day. 12/12 portal. And the thing about this 12th of December is that it will open new doors of opportunities and a sequence of miraculous synchronicities for your path of evolution. How is this possible? Well, firstly, if we go into numerology, number 12 represents the completion of a cycle. And for example, we have 12 hours on a clock, 12 apostles, 12 months in a year. And number 12 is always repeating when it comes to certain cycles. And number 12 has a huge importance when it comes to evolution, when it comes to growth and to bringing more harmony to the aspects of life that are out of order. That's why cycles are so important, because through cycles we grow and learn. As nature is moving through cycles, we are moving through cycles. And 12/12 means a great alignment of the cycles. Like everything you've been through came to an end, and it's time to recognize what went well and what is not working for you anymore. And because that great alignment happened today, it means that it's a great time to think about how you want to live your life, and think about the all aspects of your life and make a wish for that. So focus on what brings joy into your life. Make a wish about how you would like your life to be, and make sure that you will do your best to follow your heart every step of the way. So when we're talking about wishes, we are talking about intentions. We're talking about gaining greater clarity over what harmony would look like in these different aspects of our lives. So let's say we're thinking about finances, we're thinking about relationships, we're thinking about health, we're thinking about also the identity, the relationship with the self. We're thinking about the world, the future, the humanity. What would harmony look like in all those different aspects of life? That's something truly important to think about, because often people just rush through the day and hope that things will change. But if we're constantly repeating same patterns, we'll receive same results. And when we receive same results, we'll react to those same results same as before. And as we're reacting same as before, it means that we are activating same patterns in the brain that are activating same emotions in the body. So we're constantly feeling the same. And we're constantly feeling the same because we say nothing is changing, and nothing is changing because we are not changing anything, right? And as we came to the end of this cycle, it's important to recognize, well, to make a change means to become a change, right? To make a change means to become a change. And when you're thinking about different aspects of your life, how could you become a changed person in that aspect? There's a part of your identity that holds a huge amount of beliefs about finances, for example. Then there's another part of your identity that holds huge amount of beliefs about relationships and about health, and about the future of humanity and the God and universe, how everything works. And as long as we're not aware of those beliefs, we'll not be able to change anything. So that great alignment today may help you to recognize more of your beliefs. So I want to encourage you today to take a moment and write down the beliefs that are making disharmony in whatever aspect of your life that is not in order, that you feel like is out of harmony. What are the beliefs about that thing that are pulling or that are manifesting disharmony in that aspect of your life? So what I mean by that? Well, if you're thinking about finances, what are the beliefs about money that you have? And firstly, it's okay to have those beliefs. You're not a bad person. Most of the time, nobody was teaching us to upgrade our minds, to think more coherently with the life we want to live, right? So our minds are the reflections of what we've been through. And if we're not upgrading our minds, like we're upgrading our phones and computers and programs and so on, we can't expect that something will change. So it's an important reminder to fully recognize what beliefs are reflecting in this certain aspect of your life. Back to you, what you need to work on. And there's a truly interesting intention that helped me in the past to look on money differently. Because, for example, affirmations never worked for me when it comes to money, like I'm rich, I'm abundant, I'm a millionaire, and so on. It never worked for me because I didn't believe them. Like when I was listening to them, it didn't change anything in my body. Like I felt like it's not real. It felt kind of fake. So one day I've started writing down the intention, like I have more money than I can spend. And that sparked like it raised my energy, and that's how I felt that there's something different about this intention. It worked for me. And I just want to say here that we need to find something that can help us, a certain word, a certain intention that truly resonates with us. That intention worked for me. So usually I'm using that 21-21 method, which means that you write 21 sentences for 21 days. And what it does, when you're writing, like when I was writing back at that time, I have more money than I can spend for 21 times, for 21 days. What it did to me is that after a few days, I've started receiving really, really incredible ideas. How to make money with what I was passionate the most. I've started receiving so many incredible ideas how to make money with my art, for example. That was the time when I've started making prints of my paintings. I've started making phone cases, shirts, stickers, and so many different interesting things. Most of those things I'm not doing today, or I've automated them. But back at that time when I had nothing, no followers, nothing, I've started making phone cases, and many friends wrote me, hey, I want to have that. And I've noticed, well, I just needed to change my mindset a little bit. And it doesn't mean that it made me richer or anything, but it brought me many of those tiny synchronicities that told me that actually, if I create more clarity and coherence in this area, maybe I can truly do what I love to do and make a living out of it, right? And then it took me the next 1 or 2 years to make things happen, to work on that mindset and to work on what I was passionate the most. I was painting a lot, and soon things started aligning, and you meet the right people, and synchronicities happen, and you get to where you are. So universe works in mysterious ways, and often we think we are victims of different processes, but the truth is that we are a work in progress, and we need to recognize that we are progressing as we're learning more about ourselves. And it's never about this end products like manifestations. Everything is about self-awareness. And just that fact that every single day we know a bit more about ourselves that we knew before. because it helps us to deal with our emotions. It helps us to recognize the patterns that put us out of alignment, so we can work on that, so we can move through anxiety, so we can move through fear, through anger, through worries, with greater confidence and trust that actually those emotions are not here to stop us. Those emotions are here because we've never trained ourselves to overcome them, right? We've never trained ourselves to overcome anxiety, to overcome fear, to overcome anger, to overcome frustration. So nothing about these emotions is bad. Anxiety is just helping us to improve our social skills, right? Anger can help us to shake off the tension that's stored in the body. That's why we feel angry, and we need to learn to channel it, like through workouts, like through screaming if you need. Just don't do it the way that you will harm somebody. Do it in the way that will be good for you. Like go into nature and scream until you find yourself empty of that anger, right? Free yourself. But the problem is that people don't do anything about it. When they feel anxious, they think, oh, that thing is just not for me, and they avoid all the things that awaken anxiousness within them. When people feel stressed out, they suppress everything they feel. When people feel angry, they express anger towards others because they trigger them, and so on. So we need to become much more aware of that, and that's why it's so important, this message right now, as we are entering into a new cycle. What will we bring into the future? Soon we'll enter into a new year, right? What do you want to bring into the future? What kind of world you see in your mind's eye? I see people connected. I see people happy, like laughing with each other. I see people working on themselves so they can show up as improved version of themselves, as upgraded version of themselves. I see people coherent with nature. And that's something I like to see because it brings happiness into my heart. And of course, often I experience doubts because when I see what's happening on the world, I may say, well, it's like, what's my vision of the world and what's happening outside in the reality? Well, it's I don't think it's possible that people will truly wake up. But you know, maybe one person will wake up because of that. Every time you project your energy into the world, into the field of potentials, it may just help to spark a certain individual to start to think more consciously. Who knows? But every time you project thoughts outside into the fields, you are making ripples of changes. That's why it's so important what kind of thoughts you think and how much clarity you have around different aspects of your life. So think about this day as a great portal of change, a doorway to a new reality. And before you enter through that doorway of change, you need to be clear about what kind of changes you would like to experience. And the universe will not bring you more abundance when you say, I want to be more abundant. You need to know what abundance means to you. You need to recognize what's the embodiment of abundance, right? You need to recognize what kind of emotions abundance awakens within you. You need to recognize clearly what kind of relationships you want to have in your life and what you want to learn in your life, like how you want to grow. It's hard to grow if we don't know how we want to grow, right? That's why most people don't grow, because they don't see for the potentials they hold within. They don't look for the potentials. So we need to, when we're passionate about something, we start growing in that because we have a vision what we want to do with that. Like when I started painting, I had a vision. Well, I want to make my paintings like that. When I had a vision for a painting and I noticed that I can't paint it the way I see it, it was already a spark of drive here, because I wanted to improve my skills to make paintings the way I'm seeing them in my mind's eye. So, we need to see ourselves how we want to grow, into what kind of person we want to grow, who we want to be, what kind of emotions we want to feel in the future, right? And how we want to deal with discomfort, with fear, with anxiety, with sadness. How we want to deal with that. That's truly important. Because, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, confidence can only grow when you're willing to be without it. When you start something new, you will be without confidence, and that's how you're building it. The law of nature says, if you don't use it, you lose it. Right? And most people do things they're confident about. But when you start doing something you're not confident about, you will start using that muscle that is building up confidence. If you're only doing things you're confident about, you're not using the muscle that is building confidence. So you lose it, right? But when you start doing something you're not confident about, like expose yourself to people so you can build some social skill, so you can make good connections, you will start using that muscle that will build confidence within you. That's how you will project your light to the world. That's how you do it. Embrace to move through shame, through failures, through anxiousness, through anger. Embrace to move through it. And see yourself how you're doing that. Visualize yourself how you're doing that. So you can have that idea into whom you're growing to, like who you are becoming. We are truly interesting creatures, truly, because we grow into a person that we see ourselves to be. So if we don't see the potentials of ourselves, we will adapt to the standards of society. And when we adapt to the standards of society, it means that we stop growing, we stop evolving, and we become like everybody else. And when we look around us, we see people who are just like everybody else. And that's what we think that is normal. But it's not normal. The norm of the soul is to constantly grow and constantly express its unique light, its unique energy through creative expression. We are creative beings by nature. How often you express your unique energy? How often you express your soul? That's the purpose of the soul. The soul came here to learn and to express what it learned through the process. And what we notice, have you noticed that every time you talk about what you've learned, you start to know more about what you've learned, right? You gain more clarity. And actually in neuroscience, it's well known that when we learn something new, we create new synaptic connections in the brain. But if we don't repeat what we've learned, we lose those connections. So by repetition of talking about what we've learned, we start embodying that new knowledge, right? So don't think that, well, because you're not living what you're speaking, that you're out of alignment. Firstly, you need to know how to say the things, how to say what you've learned, talk about it, express it through whatever form. Because soon you will notice what could you change in your behaviors to get into a greater alignment with what you know that is right. So one more time, use today's day to write down some wishes, how you see yourself in the future, how you see the world in the future, your financial state, your health state, your relationships, relationship with yourself, into whom you want to evolve. Write those things down, meditate on it, and do your best at everything that you're doing. Always do your best, and you will see that the universe will support everything that you're working on. You will feel the support. You will know that you are supported. This is it for today, my friends. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. Have a beautiful day. Stay magnificent. Stay creative. And I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. Write in the comments below what you think about today's message, how it inspired you, and what will you work on. So, my friends, thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop. I draw my passion. You're all truly appreciated. Till next time, one love.